Guys, imagine this. India has won the World Cup finals. The last ball is bowled and the entire stadium erupts all at once. People are standing up and cheering loudly, Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram. There are thousands of people around you, but in that moment, everyone is feeling exactly the same thing. Your heart is pounding fast. You have goosebumps. Why? Because in that moment you feel, this is my team. This is my country. This powerful feeling is called nationalism. Now here's the interesting thing. This very same feeling had also emerged in Europe 200 years ago. But the problem was that no country existed in Europe the way we know it today. Germany did not exist, Italy did not exist. They were only kings and their small kingdoms. But in 1848, there was a French artist, Frédéric Soriot. He created a painting, a dream, in which all the nations of the world are marching together. Look at this scene. America and Switzerland are at the front because they were already nation states. France is coming forward carrying the tricolor. Now pay close attention here. The people of Germany are holding a black, red and gold flag. But Germany did not even exist at that time. This flag was their hope that one day they would become a unified nation. The Statue of Liberty stands tall. In one hand, the torch of enlightenment, in the other, the Charter of Rights of Man. Look at the ground. Broken symbols of monarchy and absolute power lie scattered. And from above, Christ and angels look down, a symbol of fraternity, meaning brotherhood among all nations. Guys, this painting is the summary of this entire chapter in a single image. If you understand this painting, you've understood half the chapter. So how did nationalism arrive in Europe? How did these kingdoms come together to form countries? In this video, we will cover the entire chapter in just 14 minutes. From the French Revolution to the Balkans crisis. Plus, the concepts that repeatedly appear in exams, I will specially mark those. And listen, after every section, there will be a brain spinner quiz. So watch carefully because the answers will come at the end. Ready? Let's go. So the story begins in 1789 in France. France was a full monarchy at that time. There was one king who ran the entire country according to his own will. But when the French Revolution happened, everything changed. For the first time, the idea arose that the country does not belong to the king, the country belongs to the people. Sovereignty was transferred from the king to the citizens. This was a very significant moment in history. Now, how did France create a sense of we are all one? The revolutionaries took some very smart steps. A new flag, the tricolor. Regional languages were banned. Only French became the official language. A uniform system of weights and measures was introduced. Internal customs duties were abolished, meaning it became easy to transport goods from one place to another. New national anthems were composed, oaths were taken, martyrs were remembered, all to build nationalism. Remember FECTIL. F, French language. E, equal rights. C, changed flag to tricolor. T, tax abolished internally. I, ideas of la patrie and le citoyen. L, laws uniform for all. Fectil. And the most interesting thing, the French armies exported this idea of nationalism across Europe. They marched into Holland, Belgium, Switzerland, and Italy and carried their ideas with them. Initially, people were happy. Wow, liberty is coming. But soon they realized taxes had increased, censorship had arrived, and people were being forcibly enlisted in the army. So the initial excitement turned into hostility. It is simple. If you give someone liberty but take away their freedom, they will not remain happy. Brain spinner. The question is, in the French Revolution, sovereignty was transferred from whom to whom? A, from citizens to the king. B, from the king to the citizens. C, from the church to the king. D, from the army to parliament. Think about it. The answer will come at the end of the video. Now enters Napoleon's scene. Napoleon destroyed democracy in France and made himself emperor. But what he did administratively was genius. In 1804, he introduced a code, the Napoleonic Code or the Civil Code of 1804. It changed the entire system. What did this code do? 1. Birth-based privileges were abolished, meaning if you were born into a wealthy family, you would receive no special treatment. 2. Equality before the law. 3. The right to property was secured. Plus, the feudal system was abolished. Serfdom was ended. Guild restrictions were removed and transport was improved. Essentially, the reforms that existed in France were exported to Holland, Switzerland, Italy, and Germany. Mnemonic. Year is E. Eliminated birth privileges. A. Abolished feudal system. R. Removed guild restrictions. I. Improved transport and communication. S. Secured right to property. Year is listening to Napoleon's reforms. Exam alert. Features of the Napoleonic Code equals top 3-mark question. It has appeared in the 2016, 2020 and 2024 board exams. But in 1815, Napoleon was defeated and the European powers said, enough. Now bring back the old system. Britain, Russia, Prussia, Austria all met in Vienna. Austrian Chancellor Duke Metternich was the host, and they drew up the Treaty of Vienna. What happened in Vienna? The Bourbon dynasty was restored in France. France's borders were reduced. Belgium was joined with the Netherlands. Genoa was joined with Piedmont. Prussia received western territories. Austria received northern Italy. Essentially, everything Napoleon had done was undone. But here is an important point. These conservatives were also smart. They realized that modernization could actually make the monarchy stronger. A modern army, an efficient bureaucracy, they held on to all of that. So conservative did not mean anti-modern. This is a very confusing concept in the exam. Brain spinner 2. What was the main goal of the Congress of Vienna? A. To bring democracy. B. To bring Napoleon back. C. To restore old monarchies and establish conservative order. D. To unify Germany and Italy. Think about it. After 1815, conservative governments clamped down on everything. Censorship was imposed, freedom of the press was shut down, and secret police were deployed. So the revolutionaries went underground. Secret societies were formed. The most important among them was Giuseppe Mazzini. Born in 1805 in Genoa, he is very easy to remember. Mazzini equals the dreamer of Italian unification. He founded Young Italy in Marseille, then Young Europe in Bern. His belief was that Italy should become a unified republic. Metternich was so frightened that he declared, "This man is the most dangerous enemy of our social order." In 1830, another revolution broke out in France. The Bourbon kings were removed once again. Louis Philippe came to power with a constitutional monarchy. Metternich had said a famous line, "When France sneezes, the rest of Europe catches a cold." And indeed, Belgium revolted to separate from the Netherlands. Greece gained independence from the Ottoman Empire in 1832. An English poet like Lord Byron also went to fight there and died of fever on the battlefield. Now here comes a very important concept, Romanticism. And no guys, it has nothing to do with love stories. It was a cultural movement that connected folk culture with nationalism. Meaning, folk songs, folk dances, and folk stories were collected. And people said, this is our true national identity. German philosopher Herder gave the concept of Das Volk, meaning that through common people, Volksgeist is attained, that is, the spirit of the nation. The Grimm brothers collected fairy tales specifically to preserve German identity. In Poland, Kurpinski turned the Polonaise and Mazurka dances into nationalist symbols. And when the Russians banned the Polish language in schools, priests used Polish in church to resist. Language became a weapon of nationalism. Exam alert. Culture plus Romanticism equals most repeated 3-mark question. Brain spinner 3. What was the connection between Romanticism and nationalism? A. People were motivated by writing love poems. B. National identity was built by collecting folk culture. C. Romantic letters were written to European kings. D. Paintings were made purely for decoration. Think about it. Now comes the heavy hitter, German unification. In 1848, the Frankfurt Parliament attempted to create Germany through democracy. 831 elected representatives met at the Church of St. Paul. A constitution was drafted. The crown was offered to the King of Prussia, Friedrich Wilhelm IV, but he rejected it. He said, "I do not want the crown from the people." So the democratic attempt failed. Now what? Enter Otto von Bismarck, Chief Minister of Prussia. His formula was simple: blood and iron. Meaning, I will build Germany through the army and bureaucracy, not through democracy. Bismarck fought 3 wars in 7 years. First against Austria, then against Denmark, then against France. In all 3, victory. And on January 18, 1871, in the Hall of Mirrors at Versailles, inside France, Prussian King William I was declared German Emperor. Kaiser William I. It was deliberately held in Versailles to humiliate France. An important memory hack: Italy 61, Germany 71. Italy was unified in 1861, Germany exactly 10 years later in 1871. Both were achieved through war, not through democracy. Brain spinner 4. Where was the German Empire declared? A. Berlin Palace. B. Frankfurt Church of St. Paul. C. Versailles Hall of Mirrors. D. Vienna Congress Hall. Think about it. Now Italy. Italy was just as divided as Germany into 7 states. In the north, Austrian Habsburgs. In the center, the Pope. In the south, Spanish Bourbons. Only one state, Sardinia Piedmont, was in the hands of an Italian prince. Now, to unify it, 3 heroes were needed. I call them the dreamer, the diplomat, and the soldier. Dreamer equals Mazzini. Diplomat equals Count Cavour, Chief Minister of Sardinia Piedmont. He formed an alliance with France and defeated Austria in 1859. Soldier equals Giuseppe Garibaldi. In 1860, he marched into South Italy with his Red Shirts army. He won the Kingdom of Two Sicilies. Result: in 1861, Victor Emmanuel II was declared King of United Italy. A funny fact: the peasants in the south did not even know what Italia meant. They thought La Talia was the king's wife because illiteracy was very widespread. Brain spinner 5. Match the following: Mazzini equals, Cavour equals, Garibaldi equals. A. Soldier, dreamer, diplomat. B. Diplomat, soldier, dreamer. C. Dreamer, diplomat, soldier. D. Dreamer, soldier, diplomat. Think about it. Now, artists had a problem. How do you give a nation a face? The solution was allegory, a female figure that represents the nation. In France, Marianne, symbols, red cap, tricolor flag, cockade. In Germany, Germania, symbols, oak leaf crown, sword, olive branch, broken chains. Now the last section, the Balkans. After 1871, the dark side of nationalism began. In the Balkans, Romania, Bulgaria, Greece, Serbia all wanted to break away from the Ottoman Empire. Every group was using history to claim their identity. And the European powers, Russia, Germany, Britain, Austria-Hungary, all wanted a piece of the Balkans. Result: World War I. Nationalism plus imperialism equals disaster. But this very nationalism also inspired anti-imperial movements in the colonies, India included. Let's do a rapid-fire revision. 1789, French Revolution. 1804, Napoleonic Code. 1815, Congress of Vienna. 1830, Revolution in France. Greece becomes independent. 1848, Frankfurt Parliament. 1861, Italy unified. 1871, Germany unified. Italy 61, Germany 71. Now the answer. Brain spinner 1, B. Brain spinner 2, C. Brain spinner 3, B. Brain spinner 4, C. Brain spinner 5, C. If you got 5 or 6 correct, you are a champion. 3 or 4 correct? Good. Revise once more. 2 or fewer, read the chapter again. So guys, that was the rise of nationalism in Europe, the complete chapter.